Connor, Chris Daugherty, Indianapolis star. Obviously, a NASCAR championship is the one thing you're going to be focusing on, and you know you can't predict the future. But after that goal is reached, where do you see possibly your next goal coming up in your career? Could it possibly be here in the month of May?
I mean, I would love to race in the Indianapolis 500. I grew up watching that race on TV, and in my opinion, it's the biggest race in the world. And as a race car driver, you want to win those races. So, I mean, I would love to get the opportunity to do that. I don't know when the opportunity would come or how it would come or who I'd race with, but obviously with Kyle doing the double, you know, it's possible. But there's a lot of implications. It's a very hard thing to pull off, but if I were to have a bucket list, it would certainly be on it.
Nathan Brown, Indy star. Connor, I wanted to follow up on something that Chris asked you a couple minutes ago on your goal or dreams or hopes of one day racing in the Indy 500. I know you've got a lot on your plate, potentially heading to the Cup Series as soon as next year and everything you want to accomplish there. Would you envision, you know, hoping to run the 500 once you get your feet settled in Cup sometime down the road? Is that something you would love to do whenever an opportunity might come about? What are your thoughts on, you know, kind of balancing your hopes and Cup and something like that might come about with an Indy 500 ride?
Yeah, I definitely want to be settled here before I commit to doing something like that. That's a big time commitment, and I need to focus on what I'm doing here first. But you know, down the road, if I get settled in and you know I'm doing well on you know Sundays, hopefully one day, it's certainly something that I'd want to do. And you know, I don't want to wait. It's such a cool race, and even today, like just driving past every grandstand and imagining people in every seat is something that's pretty unreal. So I definitely want to be able to experience that, and the only time to do that is in May. So hopefully I'll get the chance to do that.
And I know that you went over to Europe to do some karting early on in your career. Was IndyCar or open wheel cars here in the U.S. ever really on your radar? Did you at some point kind of choose a path down stock car route, and that became your sole focus from a full-time racing perspective?
Yeah, I've talked about this quite a bit, but you know, my dream was always to race, as a kid, was always to race sports cars or F1 or IndyCar or something like that. I never thought I would race NASCAR. I never raced ovals growing up. I mean, I was watching it from the shadows. You know, I can't say I grew up going to NASCAR races. I grew up racing go-karts, and I still wear tapered suit. It's kind of in my DNA. So, yeah, I can't say that my dream was to race NASCAR, but now that I'm here, I'm loving it. And I really do think, you know, NASCAR is the biggest form of motorsports in America. And, you know, I want to be the best at the biggest and highest level. And to do that in America, you have to race in NASCAR. So, yeah, you know, growing up, I wanted to race F1, but nowadays it's really, really difficult to get to that level, and quickly realized it wasn't possible for me.